Water. I'm having my hot brown water. No.
Oh, we're on. Hello. Welcome to the show.
That was not me mocking you, I promise. That I swear. Please don't take it that way, people.
Please don't do it. We're here. It's a Wednesday. You know what? It's 7 o'clock Wednesday night. Snobby boys. Unfortunately, we could not give young Elway a happy birthday present with a away Champions League win, but it is little Ronnie Foden's 6th birthday, so I want to wish him a very happy birthday. I'm sure Dad is a little disappointed he couldn't bring home a win for you, buddy. But shout out to Elway and your millions of followers on fucking social media, you crazy kid.
Right.
Welcome.
Without further ado, welcome to the Snobby Boys. All right, everybody, welcome to the Snobby Boy Podcast. I'm your host, Colby. That's my homeboy, Joe. We're
Hi. Hello.
Right. Right. A little sip of tea, you know?
You have to. Got to.
What's going on in here? City Luke, what's up, bruh? Yeah, dude. Sorry you got rained on.
What? Yeah.
I'm sorry that you stood out in that. Much love, though, bro.
Proper footy weather in Paris today.
Yeah, it seemed like it was a proper Manchester night there, didn't it? But that's not how it panned out, did it? Fucking.
Thanks for checking in, Luke. We appreciate you, buddy. Hope you're having a good time in Paris. Otherwise, outside of the result from today. Pink Floyd mug, I like it.
Yeah, I think that's. I mean, that's to be fair. Ever since Will sent over the tea, that is the only mug that has facilitated said tea. So I felt it was only proper to honor the English way by putting it in a Pink Floyd mug. That was just,
well done. Luke said it was an incredible experience, and he loves Paris. So
interesting. Paris is one of those ones that I'm like, I could take it or leave it. I could never go there and be okay. But I digress off that point because it's not about me, is it?
What?
Dude, I am
new generation. That's what it all is about, man. What are you talking about? It's all about the individual, bro.
Yeah, you're right. I guess you can support your own brand and shit, whatever.
Listen,
guys, I am not gonna waffle on the rest of the night. I am gonna pick my spirits up because I said that I would. Especially for Mr. Joe over here. He felt like kicking in some teeth earlier. I'm not gonna lie.
I did. I was very frustrated at the end of that match. I was annoyed, to say the least. So I'm better now. I had a nice training session with Jordan's team, being around the girls and going through a good training session helped brighten up the spirits, and being around the kids was much needed because I went from the car finishing the match to directly onto the training pitch. So it was really nice and much needed. So thank you guys for being here. If you haven't already, you're not already following us, make sure you do that across socials at SnobbyPod. If you're not already subscribed to us on YouTube, do that now. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Easy peasy. Takes about 2 seconds. Hit that subscribe. Hit the like on the video too, please. And then most importantly, once you've done all those things, share. There's a share button on all YouTube videos. Just go ahead and click it. Throw it in your Instagram story. Put it up on your Facebook. Throw it up on X. Wherever. Help us grow a little bit. Do your part. And share out if you're enjoying our content, which we hope you are. Especially because if you're spending, your Wednesdays, Sundays, sometimes both, sometimes one with us, we appreciate you being here. So make sure you share and help us out.
Exactly. All that.
So, yeah, all those good things.
All those good things. Yeah. So tonight, PSG review. Fuck.
Yep.
City community.
That's better. There's actually good news there. There's good news.
There's definitely some good news in that. And then we're gonna bro out per usual. Not too much tonight though, just because it's unless some people turn out and it just gets insane. Then yeah. But any whoozy. PSG. Let's talk about PSG.
Before we jump into PSG.
Is this a calm setting or are we screaming? On the inside?
On
the inside. I'm fucking
inside.
Screaming.
I got my screaming out in the
car. I haven't yet screamed or done anything. It was just kind of as soon as the whistle blew, I turned the TV off. I don't want to hear any of their fucking bullshit. I walked in the kitchen. I stood there for a few minutes and I said, I'm hungry. And then I made some tea.
You were hungry and you had tea.
Yep. I know. It makes no sense.
Hey, it only got to make sense to you, brother.
Discombobulated my mind was after that. So it only,
Yeah.
I'm out of sorts. That's really what it is. I'm just out of sorts.
I think all of us are at this point, bro. So let's dive into the starting 11. I think the biggest thing and most exciting thing for this piece was that Rodri was traveling with the boys. He was back amongst the group, having his presence there. Although not beneficial tonight, I think in the long run, having him around the squad more often, even if he's not training quite yet and still recovering, I think having his presence around the club again can only help us going forward. Hopefully tonight was a blip on that, but it's good to see that he was in attendance, traveling, and with his lads. Especially when you're out injured and you're just recovering, it can be a lonely thing. Like you're not really getting that camaraderie with the boys. You're not in and amongst the training sessions. You're pretty much out. And well, in our situation, there's a lot of dudes actually in the recovery room, so you're probably getting a little bit of camaraderie there. But it's not the same as being out on the pitch with the boys and having that. So getting him back, I think, was great. Doku has picked up some sort of injury. We have not gotten a lot of clarity. Maybe you all have heard more than we have, but searching the internet, I haven't seen anything as to what the injury might be, what's ailing him, which is why he didn't travel and wasn't a part of the squad, which is a shame because he's been in good form lately. So 11, Eddie continues on in goal. We had Ruben and Akanji in center backs. Our fullbacks were Yoshko and Nunez again playing at that right back spot. Kova, Bernie, Kev, Phil, Savino in the midfield, and then Holland up top. I don't think there's any surprises there about what I probably would have expected from Pep, considering it's an away Champions League match. Maybe Jack would have started over Savino just because he's got that experience, but turned out okay as far as his goal contributions in the second half. So first thoughts on the 11 was I liked it. I really enjoyed looking at that lineup and seeing what we had on the pitch. Appreciate you, Martin. Thank you very much. Hope your space goes well. Let out any frustrations and
Right.
and feelings. Get them all out tonight. Let's get them all out of our system, and then we can start fresh tomorrow. Because we got a lot of big matches on the way that we got to be up for. So let's get it all out this evening and clear the ill feeling. So first thoughts, really strong 11. That we probably the best 11 we could have put out there, considering where we're at injury wise, and I liked it. I was hopeful that this 11 was going to get us 3 points. What about you?
I don't know, man. I wasn't really on the same page. I kind of feel as if even still in the midfield there was a lot of age that showed a lot. The big thing that I want to say before we really start opening up this whole match is walking in, everybody stepped on with about a quarter tank of gas in the tank. Nobody was 100%. It felt really good for the first 25 minutes. But I don't know. Like I as much as I love seeing Savinho get the time,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not saying that he's not a contributor, or at least he's not that he's not trying to contribute. It's just that there's no chemistry whatsoever in the attack. It's hi, I'm Holland, service me. And I don't think that I was listening to somebody earlier, and it kind of trickled my brain a little bit. And I don't agree 100% with what this journo said, but in the same light, like, what does he really provide for us? He has no ball skills. He's physical when he wants to be. I don't know, man. There's a lot of Holland that still needs to develop, especially as a Premier League side footballer. That he doesn't have that a lot of the other greats do. One person even put him Erling Haaland over Sergio as City's best striker ever, and I'm not there yet.
Mm-mm.
Until he starts creating chances, until he starts boxing people out, until he starts doing what a 6'4" striker should be doing, I'm hard. It's hard for me to take anything and everything seriously yet. And I'm wondering if Marmouche isn't going to be if he's not going to be the mix-up that we absolutely needed. We have severely missed somebody like Julian Alvarez since he's left, just for the exchange of pace, movement, how one brings the ball, variety, right? Like there's so many damn things. I just don't see the chemistry, man. I just don't. I don't see it working out very well.
That's the problem with not having a consistent lineup, having guys consistently healthy, so you can actually work on that on the pitch. Because we brought in new left winger, right winger. He needs time on the pitch to work with everybody. People have not been there. People have not been available. And we're seeing that lack of continuity. You saw, I think, numerous times, especially in the first half, even in also people playing out of position. Nunes playing at right back, totally different vibe. He did well, totally at fault for the first goal, in my opinion. Totally did not need to step and go that hard into that challenge. You just need to keep people in front of you. But you could see him and Kevin just were not on the same page when we had possession of the ball. He was making runs. Kevin wasn't finding them. Kevin wanted balls played in a certain spot that Nunes wasn't comfortable playing, I guess, because, again, he's not used to playing out wide like that from that position. There's so much turnover and change within the squad that there's, like you said, exactly spot on. There's no chemistry amongst the players, even guys who have played together for
the last couple
years.
Seasons. Yeah.
Don't have it right now because guys have been in and out of the lineup constantly. So it's hard to build chemistry if guys aren't there, and you're constantly trying to piecemeal it together with different lineups and guys in different positions. So that absolutely is spot on with the lack of chemistry. And it wasn't just Kevin Nunes, like Savinho and Holland. There's times where it looks great, but then there's a lot of times where Holland leaves a ball off and Savinho's making a run the opposite direction. It's behind him. They're not, and Savinho's maybe missing a through ball that could play Holland into space. There are times in the first half where we were playing very direct and we were just hitting it into space for Holland to chase, and it was working. We were able to use his strengths. Then other times there's just not a lot happening because people are not on the same page. So
No,
I totally understand where you're coming from, man.
well, and the other part of it is too is even over really since the start of the season, man. Really since we started catching that injury bug, our passing sucks. Not crisp. Nobody has a good first touch whatsoever. And some of the passes are just brainless. Like, and one person I want to pick out on the most today is fucking Bernie. Bernie can't pass for fucking nothing. I'm not going to say he can't pass. Okay, let me rewind. Let me re-say that. Anytime Bernie is put in a position where he's at a 50-50 ball with somebody, whether it be on the touchline or it be up in the air, coming down, he absolutely doesn't have any sense of who's around him and where the ball needs to go. I have seen too many times where he has wildly kicked the ball, trying to get it somewhere, when it ends up going into the opposition. And it's just like, you're a veteran. You're somebody who's been playing a game for a while. These stupid little fucking errors that you consistently make, they got to stop.
And with him, one of the things that I noticed too about him, now that you brought him up, in the past, he'd get the ball on the wing, and he would actually look to drive the ball past people and take people on. That's completely gone by the wayside at this point.
He's gotten bodied out too.
You get bodied out. He's not trusting whatever speed he had before, his quickness, maybe again because he's played. Aside from Holland, I feel like he's probably played one of the highest number of minutes in the squad, but he doesn't trust that he can get by anybody anymore with either his quickness or his pace. So it's like he gets it and then he immediately is looking to pass it to somebody else or turn and pass it backwards, and there's no progressive movement happening from him. He's not. It's just your analogy of everybody was playing with a quarter tank of gas was spot on. We got through the first 45, looked pretty good, looked okay, and then the whole second half, outside of the flurry of goals in the first 7-8 minutes,
13 minutes, 13, yeah.
The rest of the second half just was absolutely gassed, man. Like the guys just, even he brought in Gundo, and again we've harped on this. I don't want to bang the same drum. Gundo back in at the 6th, and McAtee out wide, which push Phil in the middle, which is where he should be, but he's having to play out wide because Bob and Doku are not available. Phil has got to continue playing in that 10 role and be consistently playing in that space. It's got to be him, and although Kevin wasn't great today, he's got to be in that middle too, and we got to get something going on in the wings, man. It was just, and it was the disheartening part for me was the mental errors. Majority of their goals could have been prevented. I hope folks, I haven't gone on any kind of social media to check. I hope people are not crushing John Stones for that, for the missing the header on as soon as he came in. It is incredibly difficult to come in off the bench cold and defend a set piece. So to me, Pep, I get he was up and ready. Let the set piece happen with the guys that are out there, then bring Johnny on. And again, Johnny's wasn't responsible for the guy wide the fuck open on the back post where nobody was marking him. Nobody. Not a soul in our shirt anywhere near their shortest player, and he had a free header at Ederson. Now, Gordon, I see what you said. Ederson's passing was poor. I don't want to hear any negative talk on Ederson tonight, personally. He was left out to dry in the second half by the defense and the lack of legs. So, to me, Ederson bears no blame for any of the goals. I personally thought his distribution was much better than he's had in the past. He was put
He was
into
under
very
pressure the entire time.
constantly, exactly,
Yeah,
constantly,
he was under pressure the entire time.
and people
For
weren't
him,
working to get open.
and the way that they played that press today, honestly, they applied that well.
Mm-hmm.
They
Tip your
they
cap to
absolutely,
PSG. Second half, they
yeah,
played really, really well and responded well after going down 2-0.
yeah. To come back 4 goals, man. But also, like, yeah, they stayed consistent on the press, which we haven't been able to dismantle for shit. So I mean, I can't necessarily say Ederson. Now I will say Gordon's not wrong. There were some bad passes from Eddie tonight. Passes that did not look like he was himself in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
But again, he was under pressure. I mean, they were their pressure line was so fucking high. I mean, we could barely get the ball to our defenders.
That's the thing.
And when we did,
Exactly.
it was a recycle back and forth in the corner until we could at least try to kick it out to midfield. Then once we got it there, if we were anywhere near the byline, they would just shove us right into it. I mean, we don't look like we have the balls anymore.
The
I
confidence
think
and bravado has been shaken. The
absolutely
whole,
just
which gone now. So we used to be able to
yeah.
just. That's the thing. Like Jack, I think it was Jack that I saw on Instagram. I briefly hopped on there and was saying like, I don't know what happened. In past years, we would just see games out like that. We just can't do it right now. And it's not up for a lack of ability. It's they don't have the legs, like you said. They're the guys who have been playing are gassed because they haven't been able to be rotated much. They're all
Absolute no
dealing with
rotation.
they're all dealing with injuries. They all are fit to play, but none of those guys are really healthy because they're being asked to play through injury, through being sore because he can't rest anybody. Like so. And yeah, their pressing was at Gordon, absolutely. And then, like I
Absolutely
said,
outstanding.
you have to tip your cap to the other squad. They played harder. They wanted it more than we did in the second half. And if you look at the way Ederson was being asked to play, he was playing as a second center back at times, and
No
they were
shit.
he was playing up by the top of the 18-yard box, and they were playing, uh, you know, passes to him from the other center back, and he was even with that person. And then he's got a dude bearing down on him, and then you look up, and there's nobody moving. There's nobody trying to get open. There's nobody checking back to the ball. Um, and there's times where there was zero people in the midfield. Either they were back by the out wide, they were dropping deep with Holland. There was no options for him to play to. So it's
Nothing.
like it was just the second half was extremely frustrating. We typically write down, key moments in the game. For me, there was one key moment, halftime.
Yep.
When I saw that Ruben wasn't coming out, I assumed initially that Pep was trying to protect him with a yellow card when he already made it. He had got a yellow early and then had another pretty rash challenge that he could have gotten another one for. So I originally thought maybe Pep's trying to protect him there. And if that's the case, I don't like that. You got to trust him. So it comes out after the fact that Ruben asked to come out because he wasn't feeling good. And as soon as I saw Ruben wasn't back out there, I knew, even after the 2 goals that were scored, I knew we were in trouble. Without Rodri and without Ruben, when both of those two are missing, we are so easy to play through. And it feels like at times our guys have forgotten how to defend when they're not there, to organize everybody, to calm folks down. It's just so to me that was the key. That's the biggest moment of the match was if Ruben was still in there. I don't think we concede 4, and I don't think I think we're able to see the game out and at least maybe get a point. But I don't think we concede 4 if Rubes is still out there. He was playing extremely well. The defense looked a lot better in the first half. Nunez was kind of controlled and wrangled in a little bit more, but without him there, it's just it's a completely different team when those two guys are not there to defend for us.
And I think that's just it. The whole deflation part. I mean,
Yeah.
as soon as Diaz came out, it was you might as well sat on a whoopee cushion.
Yeah.
It was just a big old fart. And I mean, yes, we did score the 2 goals, but it was just one stink after the next, after the next, after the next. I actually kind of agree with Chad too. Once they put that goal in,
sorry, I clicked it.
sorry. Once they put that goal in, I was like, "We're toast. This is it. They're going to come back and yep, we're cooked." As the little ones say, the Gen Alphas.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, we were cooked, and suffice it to say, as I started this off, I was talking about how incredibly old our midfield is, regardless of who was there today. It's still old. Their youth put on a display. Every single one of them. They played with they played their fucking hearts out. They knew what this match meant for them, especially going up against recent champions.
Mm-hmm.
The top, you know what I mean?
And we'd beaten them recently in this competition to put them out of the competition. Even though most of those guys that were on the pitch today weren't around for those kind of things, but they know their history. Like those dudes are well aware of what's gone on in the competition before. So
we have gotten soggy, we have gotten complacent a bit, but I think this overall it is the fact that everybody is just gassed the fuck out.
Yeah,
they are tired. They are ready for a break. And the fucked up thing is we don't have a break until like fucking March.
And then after that, guess what? As excited as I am that they're coming to the States again,
I'm not.
That picks up immediately after the season's done at the end of May.
Literally a week, 2 weeks, maybe a week and a half off.
And then they're right back at it. And the way FIFA's doing it is they're going to penalize folks if they're not trying to like field their best players. So we'll see who's available. I'm sure we'll be able to figure out some kind of way to get some guys some rest. But damn it, man, like there's no rest really in sight because this goes from mid June to mid July, I believe.
Early July.
And then they'll finally get maybe a month off. But then August is get ready to gear back up for the new season. So maybe 2-3 weeks after a full year of playing, like that is bananas, man.
It's a lot of football.
I feel for him. I feel for the guys. I really do. Like
it's a lot of football.
Because I know we're all, as fans, we're all frustrated. And I've said this before on the pod, like as frustrated as we are, those guys are fucking competitors. To be that good for that
it's happening to them more so than it's happening to us.
Exactly. So they're feeling it. Like they're frustrated. You know that it's hard on them too. So I try to give them some grace. There are times during the match where I don't feel like I want to give them grace, but then I calm down and my emotions, subside a bit. Anytime we give up a goal, whether it's my team, whether it's Jordan or Elliot's team, whether I give up a goal playing against somebody on FIFA online, shit drives me nuts. It makes me mad because I want those clean sheets, man. So anytime the biggest one though is just that fucking set piece where nobody marked Neves, I think it was their little short midfielder. That one is inexcusable.
That stung so bad.
There'll be no babying that. There'll be no happy clappers here on that one. Like that one, let's call it what it was. Somebody fucked up and nobody marked him. And it was a great ball. I mean, first and foremost, the ball's got to be hit in the right spot for that to happen. And then he attacked it and left Eddie with less than 1% chance of stopping that. You know what I mean? So it's like that one is inexcusable. and I'm not petting anybody's ass on that one because that was, like you said, I don't agree most of the time with fucking commentators, but in that instance, one thing that I agreed with the announcers tonight was, granted, we don't have the legs because we're an older squad. We're experienced, which means we should know better than to leave somebody fucking alone on the back post.
True.
You know what I mean?
True.
So as of right now, Champions League, we are sitting in 25th, which is outside of the playoff spots, just outside.
But there's still a way we can get in.
However, we are playing a team that's above us. They are on 11 points. They have a worse goal differential than us. So, simplest scenario, there's other scenarios. There's a lot of permutations that could still happen because there's a bunch of teams on 10 and 11 points. But the simplest thing is we're at home, Club Brugge, we beat them, we're in. We're guaranteed at least 24th, which is crazy to say. Would never thought we'd be sitting in this position. But there
last team before fucking elimination.
God, bro. Unreal. But even with the 4-2 loss, a win next Wednesday, and we're in the playoffs. And again, I said this either last show or the show before it. Doesn't it, though?
That sounds so weird.
And God damn it, was it annoying to hear the announcer slurp this new format that every fan universally does not like. And they're sitting there trying to make like, in this new format, we get matches like this and blah, blah, blah. Bitch, none of those people that came up with this ever thought that PSG and Man City would be playing to avoid elimination early.
Right.
So don't give them credit for this bullshit. Nobody likes this format. So don't try to hype it up and slurp it.
Not for me,
because exactly. Horseshit. Nobody likes this format, dude. Like
nobody. So what is do you think UEFA will actually do something about it after the tournament's done?
Their worst nightmare would have been, because Madrid was in the same boat. They were pretty low too. Had PSG, Madrid, and City somehow managed to fumble the bag enough to not make the playoffs, I guarantee you next season, this format is no longer a thing. Gone.
Back to original setting.
Yes, exactly. 100%. So next Wednesday, home, Club Brugge, win, and we advance into the knockout stage, which is pretty much all we winning in. Take care of business.
God damn it. That is so weird to say in this sport.
Isn't it? Like, no, that's playoffs, a basketball term, man.
Winning in, right? Like, ew. I'm sorry. That might turn some people off, but I stand by the fact that you should keep everything rather traditional and not bite off one sport or the other. And the fact that I'm using vernacular for another sport in this sport, it feels unnatural.
100%.
It feels like somebody's. Go ahead.
No, you're good. Stu made a good point. He's in here. Hello, sir.
What's up, dickhead?
The schedule makers for these competitions,
bro.
Aston Villa and Liverpool played on Tuesday. They played on Saturday. So they got the same amount of rest as us. But again, if you have any club that's got a league game, or they're playing in the Champions League midweek, why not have whatever team is playing midweek play on Saturday? And if they have to play midweek, put that game on Wednesday so the players actually get not a sufficient amount, but at least a couple of days of rest in between. It's so ridiculous to have these players playing on a Sunday afternoon, evening time, 11:30 our time kickoff, 4:30 their time, and then have to go to another country and play in a match on Wednesday evening. So they get Monday, Tuesday, 2 days in between. And so it was the point, I think they traveled today. Yeah, they left like early morning UK time to get over there. that's not great. Like that's not healthy for these players. If these schedule makers actually gave a shit about player safety and all these kind of things, like it's the way that these competitions are scheduled out is
Listen,
so frustrating.
listen. Hold on a second. Let me just bring logic to the table real quick. I need to throw this out there
I do
because
like logic.
this is a common gripe I do hear in this sport that I kind of actually find laughable.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not deterring or trying to bring down what you said because it does make a difference, and we see it within players over here in the United States. Uh, think about the MLB. Think about NBA. Think about the NHL. How many games there are in a season, and how often they're traveling between time zones. Right. Each one of our states is about the size of one of those countries. So the traveling back and forth is not so much the concern with me. It's the short turnaround in which they have to do it.
Yeah, that's my biggest gripe is the time in between games. I don't like
Right,
travel a little different. It's the short time for a body to physically recover after
right.
going through everything they're doing.
Because
Which
you look at the NFL, they usually get 5 to 6 days of rest before they put their bodies through abuse again. Right.
mhm.
NBA, it's like every fucking day.
that
NHL,
that's
it's
a
like
whole
every
that's a whole
fucking day.
that's a whole different story at the NBA because they're going through this load management shit where
Right, and they're doing
the
that,
stars
which is
don't play
what
back to backs and
I kind of feel is brewing. This is where I was getting with this. I kind of feel like that process is going to start brewing within this sport of load management because it's already happening if you think about it in a way, right? You don't want your players playing too much because they might get hurt, right?
mhm.
Is that not load management unto itself?
They call it rotation, squad rotation
Right, right.
instead of
Well,
load.
it's all
Instead of
semantics
it's
at that point.
yes, exactly. It's very similar. So it's frustrating with the players have all said it. They've all come out. A lot of them anyway have come out and said there's too many games. And Champions League goes ahead and adds 2 additional league games this season. They've had an expanded FIFA Club World Cup where it's in a whole tournament. They added international windows for friendlies that don't mean shit. So they keep adding games and wonder why there's so many players consistently on the training table.
Right.
And then bang on the teams that try to have a big squad to cope with all the injuries and make them out to be the bad guys because they're spending too much.
If you have big dreams, you have to make big squads.
Yes, exactly.
It's as simple as that.
Yep.
Oh man. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, duh. And my
Yes.
Stephen A. Smith voice, my man.
I'm so glad we're not in that competition anymore.
Yeah. No shit. Yeah.
Oh my goodness gracious. You know what? Somebody I did want to point out, and it feels weird pointing out a defender when we've given up 4 goals. But I really thought Akanji
He tried
acquitted
real hard.
himself. He acquitted himself nicely. His contribution in was it the first goal, second goal, where he was super aggressive coming up from a center back position and pushed forward and did a hesitation move and drove past a defender into the box and put it
Yeah.
across. That's not center back behavior. And that gave me hope
Mhm.
that once guys get a little more healthy, new guys get acclimated, maybe we see more of Akanji, the back four of 4 straight center backs, and Akanji playing kind of in that right back spot and kind of solidifying the defense out there. Nunez, I thought, did pretty well for the most part up until his boo boo. It gave me Fernandinho vibes from against Real Madrid when Vinny spun him really bad and led to a goal when we were again without Kyle Walker's pace.
I'm sorry. I want to go back to this. When is there playoffs every year in this sport?
That was I want to I give us some more clarity on that comment, please.
Yeah.
Because we've been doing a lot of talking and we've incorporated kind of other sports into this. So give us a little more context so we can properly digest that comment. Get back. But yeah, like Akanji, I thought was acquitted himself very nicely. I hope that he can continue to maintain some health because he's been one of our standout performers. But like other than that, there wasn't anybody that I was happy Jack got off the schneid in like a more meaningful way than a PK against Salford when we were already up, like getting a goal contribution, putting the ball in the back with a really tough, like that was not an easy finish in the rain with a wet ball, and he smashed that.
That was another big part of the problem today too. Is that it was quite
conditions
soggy.
Were shit.
Yeah, it was quite soggy. But yeah, I mean, we move on. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We move on. Move to Chelsea. We'll think about
Saturday.
Club Brugge when. Yeah, we'll think about Club Brugge when we've finished
Chelsea.
Of us. Yeah, we'll keep one thing in front of us. We don't need to be thinking too far ahead. Let's not get our heads all wrapped around anything can happen on any given day. It's beyond our control. All we can do is talk about it, hash it out, talk about what could have not. At the end of the day,
the result happened.
Yeah,
we move on. We put this PSG shit behind us, and we move on because, like we mentioned, there's a lot of big fixtures coming up in the Premier League that we need to take care of. Yeah. So, the third Premier.
For sure.
Well, I think that covers PSG at this point. I don't want to waffle on too much longer on it.
Yep. I'm not pulling out the waffle maker tonight.
No.
It's the third
we are
Premier
not.
Place when coming up. Right, okay, but we're talking about championships, so I don't really know how to apply. Okay.
I understand where you're coming from, but yeah.
Right. I think that was an overthought, if I'm being honest, but that's just me. Let's go to a break, and then we come back, and we'll talk about what's going on as far as transfer market goes. We'll look a little bit ahead to Chelsea, and we'll bro out a little bit. I actually had a question about Pep that we can bro out on a little bit, so we'll be right back.
After these messages. Harlem.
All right, welcome back. If you would like to take a look at our merchandise shop, you can click on the More tab just below. There is a link in there for you that you can go in and view our store. I believe that Holland shirt will be right there at the top. It is priced to sell at $24.99. And if you email us, as it says up there, we'll give you a special discount code that you can use on every single t-shirt you decide to purchase.
Who doesn't like discounts?
Who doesn't like discounts? I'm basically giving you my profit just to buy it. I swear. I'm being completely transparent. No, but really. So let's get into City news a little bit. Right off rip, Holland dispels any questions about Dream move to Spain. So when he made that contract extension, it's funny because we had somebody comment after the fact on one of our, I believe it was our last episode, about how we made this deal happen so Madrid was going to... Okay. No. Madrid was never on the fucking table. Let's put that out there and make it real crystal fucking clear. He was never dreaming of Real Madrid. The media is what put Real Madrid into y'all's heads, if I'm being honest.
Mm-hmm.
That is where all of that comes from. It was stated once before Holland signed with City by his dad that he wanted Erling to go around and basically visit every club through his career, or every league through his career. Right? No,
that was Daddy's
that was
words,
never,
not Holland's.
that was Daddy's words, and it was cannon fodder bullshit. It wasn't. He was just he was taking the piss. That's all he was doing. So yeah, he during his presser this past week, which is a couple days ago, right? He said the dream move to Spain and reiterates how happy he is at Manchester, and like I said, downplaying his dad's words. We have got to do better as a society of not banging on the drum of people who don't really have a lot of credibility. Stop taking the first thing you see on the internet and running with it, because it's more often than not there's no clarity or truth in it, and for you to continue to put the out there is just perpetuating bullshit news. So like, let's think about what we decide to give energy to, right? Because that's another thing about the internet, and I'm going to waffle on here for a second. Just because the internet said it doesn't make it true. Do some research, figure it out, match stories, see what fits and what makes the most sense. Right? But I digress. Holland was never, ever, ever deciding he wanted to go to fucking Real Madrid. Ever. He knows his heart's here. This is where he wants to stay. He's already made a bit of a journey, and he's already 24. I don't think he wants to continually move, especially when a team is ready to pay out the big bucks for him. He's happy here. He wants to stay here. This is what he knows. This is what he was brought. When he was brought into the world, he was brought here. So, I mean, let's not get too far.
That utterly ridiculous. I'm glad that Holland squared up on it and was like, "Nah, dude, I'm not having it. I'm happy where I'm at. I wouldn't have signed this long ass deal till I'm in my mid-30s if I wasn't happy and looking elsewhere." And again, anybody who thought Madrid or Barcelona, for two very different reasons, were ever an option for him isn't paying any attention. As soon as Mbappe went to Madrid, that was a wrap. He was never, ever going to go to Madrid while Mbappe was there. Not ever.
No.
Those two don't fit together at all. They are not complementary pieces.
They are too alpha to be fucking on the same team.
And then you got Vinny Jr., Rodrigo. Like, no, it just doesn't fit.
The guy in the fucking comments was talking about how there's going to be a trade between Vinny and Holland. I'm like, in your fucking dreams,
lunacy.
Bro. Where did you find? Here's the other one. Here's one of the worst. If you're looking at Spanish media outlets, you've already lost, because they're all bullshit. All of them. Every single fucking anything that comes out first from a Spanish journal, it's automatically bullshit. It's what they want. It's what they want to see, not what is. It's not reality.
And Barcelona, they have fucking trouble every season just registering players. You think they can afford Holland's contract and transfer fee? No. So that was never an option.
There's no more TV deals to have, by the way. Like, there's literally no more TV sources that they could fucking register in with.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they already have deals with fucking ESPN over here. I mean, Christ. That's massive.
And no more extra money coming in.
No.
So Holland's staying. He squashed all rumors. He's not going anywhere. He is here for the long haul, and he's here to stay. He's like we said last time, he's a blue through and through, and he's a city boy, and he will continue to be so moving forward. So squash all that. If you hear any more, don't share, don't even pay it any mind. Just scroll on past it and ignore it, because then it goes away. The more y'all share that stupid shit, the more it pops up on everybody's feed. That's how algorithms work.
Right?
In case we didn't know.
You think people would figure it out by now. It's not that hard.
You would think so.
You would think so, but next order of business, Kushanov, Kushi, as we are
Kushi.
calling him, Kushi or Kush. I kind of like Kush, you know.
I do too.
If anybody knows me, no, but for real. So he officially is in at 33.75 million pounds plus add-ons. Um, that's a good deal.
That's
That's a
a
good deal
great deal.
considering the other guy that we got from Palermus is rated at about the same price.
Mm-hmm.
So for two defenders, we spent 60 mil. And we just bought part of our future. That's good business.
That all the other big clubs were after as well. But those two made it clear that as soon as they were linked and City was interested, all those two wanted was to come play for Pep and come play at Manchester City. The draw,
Yep.
regardless of the form we're in right now, the draw of playing for Pep, improving under Pep, and playing for this club is still massive and a big deal for a lot of people and a lot of young players because they watch them, they've seen the success, and they've seen the players. So people and young guys want to come play here. And this is further evidence of that. Whether they fit in and slot it, I mean, Pep pretty much said like they're ready to slot in at this point. Like once they get some training sessions under their belt, we'll probably start seeing them
We'll
contributing.
probably start seeing them this weekend.
Fairly
to be honest.
soon. If Ruben
At least one of
not
them.
feeling well, yeah. If Ruben's not feeling great at this point, and Ake's still out, and Johnny just came back and played 20 minutes today, he's not ready for 90. Those two guys are healthy. Fuck it, man. Like, let's roll. Let's see what we got. But it's and Vidor Hayes has been debuted. He's gonna be wearing number 22. Last seen by one Benjamin Mendy and Gael Clichy, two left backs for us. However, Fernandinho was back in the Manchester area for his unveiling, which lends a little bit more credibility, I think, to the idea that Colby was putting out last show or two, that we might see him playing a little bit more in that holding midfielder role potentially in the future. He's got the right size. He's 6'1". He's got great ball skills. So and you Pep loves a versatile player, so that's always a great thing. But I do find it, and I also love it at the same time that Fernandinho was there for his unveiling. Vitor also mentioned that having Ederson and Savinho around, also having like Ruben Diaz as someone who speaks his language already, that's there, that can help him, was a big selling point and something he was looking forward to having.
Yep.
And from all accounts with him, from what I was reading about him, he's been a captain at all youth levels with club and country, and he's a very vocal person. So he's somebody who's going to speak up and talk. So having him learn from the likes of Ruben, who already speaks Portuguese, was he's starting to learn Spanish and English a little bit more. That's a great pairing. And having him learn from Rubes is fantastic because from all accounts, he's got a very bright future ahead of him, and his previous coaches had nothing but great things to say about him. So I'm very excited about our two young guys that are coming in at the center back, potentially other positions, because I'm sure Pep is going to have to see where they can help in other areas.
I'm going to double down on me saying that Vitor Hayes will be playing more of a CDM role than most would think. I've heard it in too many spaces, too many times, and from credible enough people to think that this might be it. And then cherry on top, Fernandinho comes in for the unveil and is in his year. I mean, how does the pieces not fit? That's what I'm saying. Like, how does that not fit?
And how does he not be successful with Ruben and Fernandinho?
Exactly. Like, how do you not
mentors?
Right. And then
fantastic.
I mean, you're going to have exactly, having people from your country on the squad with you. That's big too.
That helps
At
you
least it
assimilate into
helps
the
you
squad
acclimate
sooner.
exactly, and not only that, not just to the squad, but to Manchester itself.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, fuck, man. Even as an American, if I were to like move over there for a job, I don't know if maybe in my younger days it would have been different. But now that I'm a little bit older, like I might not come out the house except for food and to go to work
Mm-hmm.
because I don't know nobody. I mean, I do now. I mean, we could move over there now and be like, hey guys, like we're here.
Hello.
Where do we go? What do we do?
Can you come hang out with us? Can we go get a pint? Can we
Right?
go grab a
Can
meal
we
and talk?
discuss living here?
Help
Right?
me out here.
But no, like I mean, to have that though in your corner when you walk in, it has to be very comforting.
Mm-hmm.
Going to a place where it's just the values and the culture and everything is just so night and day almost.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Brazil's a wild place. It's wild down there.
Not only the culture, then you throw in the weather and
Right?
the climate
You
and
go
all those
from
kind of things
really sunny and hot to like rainy and cold all the time.
constantly.
So that's
So
why
we
I think
gotta.
a lot of people would get on if they were to come over here to America. Pittsburgh is like the place for Mancunians because it's always cloudy there, rainy. You know, you get like some sunshine when it happens. It's a good sunshine, and then
Back to the clouds.
back to the clouds, and it's just so sports oriented and shit. Waffle copter. Legal Diddy parties down there. What?
He's not wrong.
You're yeah, true. True. True.
So
The big
somebody else that you mentioned earlier in the show is official at this point. We got the medical for
yep.
Omar Marmoush happened yesterday, and contract has been signed, and all of that is going down. So we should see an official announcement with shirt and all that from the club tomorrow. If you're listening to it on the replay, then today. I'm sure it might have already happened.
Or a couple of days ago.
So Marmoush coming in, and I think you were spot on earlier. We have absolutely missed having Alvarez. I watched other Champions League matches yesterday and today, and seeing Jules shine for Madrid. Maybe miss him and appreciate what we had when he was with us a little bit more.
Yeah.
And not having his one having someone able that can play the actual striker position and not like a false nine to give Haaland a break, or to realize that, hey, this team X, whatever we're playing, is playing Haaland a certain kind of way, and it's not working. So let's change up how we attack them and bring on a different type of striker. We don't have that. We have yet to see any semblance of a false nine situation anytime because Haaland's been healthy, and all the fucking games that we played have been, except for maybe 2 or 3 that I can think of, have all been fucking close, and we've needed a goal, so you're not pulling Haaland off. You know what I mean? So we've missed having diversity in the attack and being able to bring on somebody that changes up how the defenders are playing. Because if you're fucking battling Erling Haaland for 60 minutes, straight physical, pushing, shoving, all those kind of things, and then you throw out a more shifty, dynamic runner in a Marmoush or in previously Alvarez, that throws off the rhythm of a center back and the whole defensive back line. So I'm very excited about what he's going to offer, what he's going to bring to the table. That part. He can't play every game for the next 10 years. So, and he knows that too. I mean, he doesn't like missing matches. You can tell when he gets subbed off at times when he's on like a brace, he doesn't really care for that too much. But again,
not at all.
you want that mentality from him, but he also understands he can't go out there and run through 70 matches like Rodri had previously been doing, or he's going to end up getting hurt again. So I'm very excited about Marmoush and what he's going to bring to the table.
All that. Times two.
Times two.
Times two. No, really though. He's going to bring something special to his team, especially the form that he's been in at Frankfurt. The only thing that I'm a little worried about though, again, is getting in team chemistry, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There was a fake news, I will call it, report that came out on one of the really shitty Man City Facebook pages about how Jack was he was in a press after this match, basically saying that because we've signed a new winger that he wants out. I fucking had to laugh at that, right? I had a big laugh at that.
One, he's a striker and more of an attacking mid than a winger. He can play there.
Right.
If Jack was going to say that shit, he would have said it in the summertime when we brought in Savino and Doku, but he never said any of that.
Exactly. Because he knows that his services are better used centrally, as I've said a bunch of times. No, I really think he like you said, he brings something special to the fold that we've been missing since Julian Alvarez. I've been banging on that drum for a couple of days now. It's going to be nice to have somebody that we can refresh and create a new attack with. Especially when we get into spots where it's just like we can't break anything. Maybe this is the guy who just plays more direct and fucking balls the fuck out. You know what I mean? It's just good to get something new and something fresh in, something that we can work with for a little while. Because we know that he's obviously not going to be the future, especially after we just inked 10 years.
He unlocks the...
Right. But let's go into other transfer news. Juan Mabah is still in the works, according to Fabrizio. However, Real Valladolid, I think that's how you say that.
Let's go with that. That sounds good. Sounds good to me.
Valladolid, they are threatening legal action as Ba did not show for training after paying to terminate his contract. They believe he was advised to do those by his agent and by City. What to think about that?
That was part of their press release that the club put out there. They seem to think that there's shenanigans and funny business going on behind the scenes, that he's being advised by his agent and Man City specifically to not show up for training and whatnot. But if he has paid for
his termination,
then fuck off.
Right? Like,
no, he doesn't have to show up for training.
Right? Like, I owe you nothing now.
So
I gave you back everything. Here you go. Like, he's my kid. Here's my training suit. Like, fuck you. Get real.
The Royal Spanish Football Federation has confirmed that the player has deposited the amount for the unilateral termination of the contract. That's all that needs to be fucking said. Stop crying about it. Stop whining and being a bitch about it. And just move on. The player has done what he's supposed to do. He hasn't done anything wrong. We move on. Bye. He wants to leave. It doesn't matter what you guys put into him. You're going to get a nice fee for him. But with him, it seems like the move for him is we sign him, and then as long as it gets done within the next 11 days, we'll immediately get loaned out to Lons because we have a lovely working relationship with them after the Kusanov deal, apparently. So they want to bring him in, loan him out to Lons for 6 months, and then bring him in the summertime to get added into the defensive rotation. So not only are they bringing in 2 defenders already, they are hot on the trails of another one and bringing in a third. So,
yep. And speaking of defenders, one of our own, Josh Wilson Esbrand, he's going to be loaned out to Stoke for the remainder of the season. It's actually kind of surprising from the time that we saw him at Green Bay to now that his development hasn't been what we thought it was going to be. Because in Green Bay, he actually looked halfway decent, as if he was developing very well. You could see him in the first team, or at least rotating at some point in the near future. But he has completely fallen off. I mean, even when we saw him this past summer, he has not lived up to what we saw that summer.
Mm-hmm.
So him going to Stoke, I hope that gives him a confidence boost, kind of being in a bigger fish in small pond, if you will. I know that we're playing for Stoke. I mean, that's a rough and tumble club. So I'm sure he's going to get some good minutes there, and he's going to learn a lot. So that maybe he'll be able to come back and produce for us. That would be stellar, because nobody likes anything more than a homegrown product. Yeah.
Absolutely. And we still have a hole there at left back. I mean, Yoshko's been great, but he can't play every fucking minute at left back for us. So
Nope.
Having another option would be awesome, but he definitely needs to get himself back on the right track. It's been I'm sure he feels the same way, where it hasn't quite worked out the way he was expecting it to. So hopefully this loan go around is the one that turns it around for him. And thank you for correcting my misspelling on his last name. I switched the Wilson and Esbrand in the notes. I did that because you knew what I was talking about. But
I knew.
When I did that because my when I was still teaching, I had 4 kids that came through, all in the same family. Their last name is Esbrand Smith. So anytime I think of Josh Wilson Esbrand, it immediately goes to those 4, because you're not supposed to have favorites when you're a teacher.
Oh no, never.
but those 4 were probably my favorites.
Oh, secrets
to the point where they still hit me up and text me all the time. So
nice.
So anytime I see him and are talking about him, Esbrand always goes first because of them. Any whoosies. I digress. Another City news. Looks like Kyle Walker's deal with AC Milan is all but wrapped up with a bow at this point. He's going to go on loan. AC Milan is going to cover the remainder of his wages for this season, which is great for us, with a option to buy at the end of the loan spell this summer for potentially $5 million, and looks like they would be looking to sign him on a 2-year contract. All of this is per Fabrizio. So looks like the Kyle saga is about wrapped up at this point. If you're listening to this Thursday, why have already came out that this news happened. So Kyle moving on to AC Milan, to Italy, new start, fresh start. Hopefully it works out for him there. And it did not end the way I think everybody would have liked it to. However, that does not take away from the absolutely stellar Manchester City career that he has had with us. One of our better signings we've ever had. Probably the best right back the Premier League has ever seen at this point. His pace and physicality was something that we built our title-winning campaigns around. Him, Ederson's distribution, and the all-around play from our other superstars were invaluable to us achieving the levels of success that we were able to reach over the past 6, 7, 8 years, 9 years. So Kyle did not end the way we all wanted it to, but a very sincere thank you and best of luck in Italy as your new journey takes you away, man.
Don't let the fucking door hit you on the ass. That's all I'm saying. Thank you for your time. You did a lot for us. Cool, but such is life, bro. Like, I mean, I'm not trying to be a prick.
Taken that deal from Bayern 2 years ago when
that's kind of where I'm at with it. Like, that's kind of where I'm at with it. Like, maybe we should have taken that deal because I mean, as of right now, I mean, what did he really produce at all this season? I mean, he looked good when he played Euros. I mean, again, I appreciate what he did for us. Like you said, I'm not going to be a complete asshole, but like, too many factors. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If you wanted your career to end here, you should have made the attempt to. But it's clear that you didn't. And really, like we said in the past episodes, probably for the best, because you're going to be slapped with an alimony that none of us would be able to fathom. So maybe the money is for the best going forward. Although, from what it looks like, you going to AC Milan for $5 million ain't going to do much, bud.
Thank
Whatever.
you, AC Milan, for taking his contract off our books for the next 4 or 5 months. We appreciate that very much.
Exactly.
Best thing that came out of this is that part right there. Get that
Listen, homeboy
250K a week out of there.
he better mind them fucking dineros, because I'm gonna tell you what, you living in the fashion capital of fucking the world.
Mm-hmm.
He's bound to get wrapped up in some stuff. So I mean, check your dollar bills, bro.
Maybe the Italians aren't so concerned with seeing someone's willy being flashed about in bars and on the sidewalk being
I
when they
see.
relieve
You know
themselves.
what? As somebody who grew up Italian, man, I'm going to tell you right now, it's not the most sexually permissive country or people in the world. Yes, a little wild for sure, but showing your tally ain't going to be tolerated. You and the mob might take you out for doing it. I'm just saying.
You heard it here
Just
first,
saying.
Kyle.
I'm just
The
saying.
warning has been placed.
Just don't go down south and do that shit. If you want to do that shit up north of Milan, that's cool. Maybe they're a little bit more lenient, but I'm just saying,
Drop
dude,
me a
we'll get
link
to the
to said story. Drop me the
yeah,
link.
like we'll get
Do
there.
it.
We got things. We got things. Look ahead at Chelsea, man. Um,
I have no fucking clue what's going to happen
I
on
don't,
Saturday.
I don't know what's going to happen either,
Because
man. I'm
Chelsea's been an absolute
really,
shit show lately too.
yeah.
So,
Is
and I
is
can
this going
say
to be
that
another 4-4?
yes, that's what I
Fucking.
told. That's what I told Zach and Jack because they asked me what I thought the game was going to look like, and I was like, "Bruv, I can't see either team coming away with a win. It's probably going to be a 2-2, 3-3 barn burner again, and nobody
Yep,
gets
I'm about to
any
say it's
points
going to be
out
a
of
four
it."
burner.
Because I was like, I honestly have no clue what city's going to show up, and today's result further evidence of that because we had been on a pretty decent run lately, and then that second half happened, and it's like, okay, that's
Well,
more like the city we saw about a month ago, but we haven't seen in a while, and here it crept back up. And Chelsea was up to second place for a bit, and now they've dropped down to fourth. I think they're a spot above us,
yep.
or fifth, sixth, something like that. Whatever it is, they're right around where we are, and they haven't been in the best run of form. They're dealing with some injuries themselves and poor form too. So who the fuck knows what's going to happen, man? I just know it's not going to be a 0-0 draw.
No.
There's going to be goals in this one because both teams' defenses have not been strong. So I would anticipate multiple goals probably from both sides in this one, and I honestly probably see a draw happening because both teams are just so damn unpredictable right now.
Yeah, I don't really have anything for this one either. It's just kind of like a hope and pray situation. It's I don't want to recycle anything that you said. It's that's where I'm at.
I hope Ruben is healthy.
I hope
Come
Ruben's healthy
Saturday.
too. I hope we find out some more shit on Doku, because
I'm very
that's a little weird.
concerned and
He
curious
didn't
as to what's going on. Yeah,
he
exactly.
didn't
Weird is the right word.
travel. We haven't heard anything. He played really well, and then he just didn't travel. Like that's weird.
And usually we get some kind of like inkling from somebody about
Yeah,
what it was, and there's been not a peep.
yeah, yeah.
So
It's
that's
very,
interesting.
very weird. Defensively too. I mean, Ake. We're not going to see Ake for a minute too. So we're stretched thin again.
And let's please not rush Stonesy into like starting and expecting him to give us 75, 80 minutes.
See, here's what I'm thinking is going to end up happening. They're going to end up putting fucking Stones and Kushyanov in together, and they're going to rely on Stones to be the veteran to kind of
Reel
help him
everybody
a
in.
little bit, and then also that. But that scares me a little bit. I mean, I love how incredibly raw Kushyanov is. But hey, Luke, buongiorno, boy.
Tough watch
That
tonight,
was,
man. You also
yeah,
were in the thick of it in the rain.
right. I don't think much will challenge between now and the end of the season. Secure a top four, possibly an FA Cup. Fresh, yeah. I mean, that's
That's where
at
we're
this
at, man.
point. At this point, that's all we can fucking hope for, man. It's just like, you know, I'm okay not winning this season. And I think with everything that's happened, it's set the groundwork for that ideal. Like, it's okay. We've been dominant the last few years. We did something that nobody else has ever done.
In back-to-back seasons.
And then back-to-back seasons, like, I think it's okay to have a break. You know, let's remember what winning feels like again. Because right now, even if we won, it wouldn't feel like a wholesome win. It would just feel like the last couple of wins. Like, it's kind of like a fluffer. You know, get you nice and hard, and then something like the Champions League happens, and that's you sticking it in, and it doesn't feel good, and then you have a limp noodle.
Womp womp.
Yeah, exactly.
I was thinking about this in the afternoon, in between the short time where I had between the end of the match and training. If for some reason we don't continue on in the Champions League, I'm kind of okay with that. Is that
I'm
crazy to
okay with that
say?
too. No, if we don't win next Wednesday, oh well.
That gives our guys more time off. Like, honestly,
Exactly.
like I'm kind of like, if it doesn't work out and maybe we draw and we can't get over the line and we're out, is it a little embarrassing for a couple of weeks? Sure. But I'm not a 12-year-old and I'm not going to be feeling embarrassed for too long. I'm a grown ass man.
No.
I don't give a shit about being embarrassed. Like, we'll take it on the chin. You guys will have your laugh. You'll be like, oh, we'll see plenty of memes come out, and
Oh,
then
I'm sure.
the news cycle will shift, and it'll
And
be out of
it'll
the news
all be
cycle.
teams that aren't in competition. So, like,
Yes.
it really just
So
all the bullshit that will come at us. It will bear no weight because it's going to be coming from people whom are speaking up rather than speaking down. So, pay them no
it's like,
mind. That's
ex-
just pay them no mind. Laugh at them.
so exactly. So I was debating on that, and you know what? It's not the end of the world, man. Like, if we crash out, we crash out, and the guys get midweeks off, aside from the FA Cup. And sometimes those are on the weekends in place of Premier League games, so they get a little bit more rest, which I'm sure all of them would greatly appreciate. And more time on the pitch with Pep and each other, which is a good thing to
Exactly.
build that chemistry that we referenced earlier.
Desperately needed.
Mm-hmm.
Desperately needed. All right, let's bro out because that's all the city news we got. Let's bro out a little bit. So I have one question though, like before we're getting to the real bro out. Pep's madness to me, and I've been thinking about this for as long as I've been watching, especially City. Um, Pep's madness has to have some sort of formula, right? For me, in my mind's eye, it's like Pep literally sits down at some point during the season or before the season, preseason, whatever, and he goes through every single match, and he literally has a who I'm going to roundabout start
Mm-hmm.
for each one of these matches, and then obviously, if injury comes in, then you make some changes because you have to. But I feel like he goes to players and says, "You're going to start here, here, and here." Prior to them, like at least 3 matches ahead, be like, "Yo, I'm planning to queue you up for this. You better be fucking ready."
Mm-hmm.
Am I off my rocker thinking that?
I don't think so. I think to keep guys happy, you kind of have to have those conversations, because if there's been a time where they're like, I haven't featured in a while, Gaffer, I'm ready for some minutes. I'm sure he's having those conversations where he's like, hey, bide your time. There's a stretch here where I foresee myself using you on a regular basis, giving you a start here, giving you 30, 40 minutes here. So I have no doubt that the dude is a psychopath when it comes to these kind of things. So you have to know and expect him to like plan and overthink. Because previously, the biggest gripe on him was he would overthink things and do too much planning.
Right.
So you have to think that he's had these conversations with guys, especially to make sure the likes of McAtee, Foden when he was first coming up, like, hey, trust me, bear with me, your time is going to come. I have plans for you. Trust me. So you have to think he's made some of those decisions with certain players in advance for sure. So I don't think
Well,
you're off your rocker at all.
well, it's funny you said something because it really does bring up something that I said that we should talk on a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and it kind of helps me bring it up. So you said he's a little psycho, right? Well, we've recently found out that his wife has left him, not because of anything other than football is more important to him. Let's talk about the fact that there are a lot of women in today's age that will leave a man who is a seeming workaholic like Pep because they aren't getting enough attention when in reality the life that they're living is all benefited from the hard labor of somebody like him. What what's it going to take for people to understand that if you're in that situation, you should be grateful that you have such a privileged life, that you have somebody who is so dedicated to something that he loves and believes in. I have a hard time wrapping my head around the concept of uh, it not being accepted because in that there should be reciprocity, right? As much as our partners will tell us how they want us to, basically glorify them for what they do as far as their work or things that they're very proud of, whatever it may be. How come we have to do it and it's not shown back in return?
It's wild to me that after 30 years, now
Yeah,
that he's signed an additional 2-year contract extension, that's the final straw for you. Like, you knew what you were getting yourself into when you married him a long time ago.
and
That
you
was
wouldn't have that
probably
fashion line.
a desirable trait for you at one point in time, that he was willing to bust his ass and work to provide, keyword here, provide for his family, for his wife, for his children, and make sure that they had a better life than he ever had growing up. So yeah, he wants to continue working because the relationships that he have built at Manchester City with the players, with the management, mean something to him, and he's not going to leave them high and dry. Like you're doing to him, um,
Right,
at the first sign of trouble.
right.
He wants to work through it. He's going to put them in a better spot. He doesn't want to leave and dip out on them and leave them in a bad spot. He wants to help put them in the best spot possible to move forward. Unlike someone who's unhappy that he's working a lot. But also, guess what? All that time, energy, effort got him to be the best in the world at this, which means he's getting paid as such, which is now, like you said, funding your lifestyle at the
Funding a
moment,
business.
business, like all these things. So it's like, after 30 years, like that's the final straw. You can't tough out 2 more years. You can't like, I just,
Listen, here's what
I,
I'm saying.
I can't.
I hope
I will not understand
I
that.
hope I hope that Pep, when the dust settles for him, what between his career and his personal life, that he goes out, he plays all the golf he wants to play, he bangs the hottest chicks that he possibly can, and lives out the best fucking life he can. Because what that honestly that warrants it. You love somebody, you fucking provide a life for them for 30 fucking years, and they just say dipset on you because you signed an extension. to do something that you love, that you're good at. You're the literally most glorified coach on all sports networks aside from American ESPN. I mean, and they're missing the mark on that.
Mm-hmm.
Just being honest. But I don't know, man. It's a different world. It's a different mindset. There's the morality of things, and I know this is typical for what we usually do on Bro Talk, but like it's something that needs to be said, and it's not. This isn't like a woman bash session by any stretch of the imagination. We love our women. We love what they do for us. We love the life that is provided along with them. You know what I mean? There's nothing better than sharing your life with somebody. And I feel bad for him because he kind of got that ripped away based on what? Loving something too much?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
So I feel bad for him because it's clearly been weighing on him. You can see the toll that it's taking on him physically. Like he just looks tired and a little more grouchy than usual. It's not an easy thing to go through, which is totally understandable. And it's just like, it's mind boggling to have that come out. Because it's like the guy,
it's not an uncommon
cheated.
Practice, right?
He's not mistreating you.
Practice, though.
He's not doing anything wrong. He works too much. That's now the problem for people. You're providing too well. Like the standard is that certain people expect to be treated is just.
Here's the only caveat to this that I can pick up on is that he may have said to her a couple of years ago, "Hey, like I'm not signing an extension. Like we're gonna have our lives together. We can go do all these things, blah blah blah." And then he signed an extension, and she was like, "You fucking kidding me?" Like that's the only thing I can think of that happened. But I don't think that was the case.
I don't think he doesn't seem like the person that's going to make that decision without having the discussion first and not including her in all of the decision-making processes. You don't build a 30-year marriage together without that kind of relationship, but
exactly. Ridiculous. All right. Comment section. You got anything for us? I see Ryan left us. There's been quite a few of Liz. I find it funny that anytime we get into anything that's serious or not on City, that people just fucking evacuate. Like
he said, no pants,
football, y'all.
Turtlenecks only.
After he said bonjour, right?
I think he was saying bonjour like to bitches in general, not to us.
See, this is I'm glad that you can pick up on that in the comments because like 99.9% of the time, I'm sorry to y'all, but for the most, I really just feel like I'm being talked at and not with. And I find it kind of annoying because it's always like, I want to talk about what I want to talk about, not what's being talked about in the moment.
But yeah, sometimes I feel like they're talking to each other. Sometimes they're just like venting whatever's in their head just to put it out there, not necessarily talking to us, but just putting their like 2 cents on there. So
right. Place and time though. We always get there. We always get there. You're just hot. No, I'm not. Actually, right now, I'm not.
I had a few beers.
What is this? What is this? Hold on. Somebody called me this in the comments a couple of weeks ago. A pasilla. Are you too much of a bitch to write out pussy?
Somebody else called you that?
Yeah. And it was somebody who's like constantly in like, between Luke's page and Martin's page. I forget who it was. And I was just like, get bent, you fucking. There's so many things. You know what? Freedom of speech should just be allowed. And I should just fucking say it. But I'm not going to because I'm a good person.
There you go.
Fagel.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Fagel. That's what they get. They're fagels. He
said it's UK slang. Pusio.
Sounds dumb. Be honest. Sorry, UK. Some of the stuff y'all come up with is dumb.
I don't like it.
I don't like it at all. It sounds so. 4th grade, and most of the vernacular that comes out because they're too scared to say shit. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be an asshole, but it is what it is. That's exactly why y'all do it. Waffling.
Waffle.
Waffle. All right, nobody wants to ask questions. That's cool. We don't care.
Chad says he likes knobhead as one of the UK slangs that he likes.
There's certain ones that are good, but like on the whole, like you're using other words for the words you want to use instead of just saying the word you want to use.
Use a real word.
Just use the fucking word, man. You want to call somebody a pussy, call somebody a pussy. You want to call somebody a dickhead, call them a dickhead. Knobhead is kind of funny. Bellend's even right in there with it. But there's quite
wild. They tiptoe around that word, but they'll like call people cunts with no
right. And it's even a term of endearment, right? It's a term of endearment. You come over here, you say cunt to anybody, you better be ready for that. The other guy's fist to be balled up and ready to smack your face with it.
Different cultures, man. Bringing everybody together.
Funny, it's so funny that our cultures are so different, though, considering history,
the heritage.
Shit. Yeah, right. I mean, I understand that we're a country of diversity, but
I believe diversity is an old wooden ship used in the Civil War era.
That one right there. Well, there's like 53% of us over here, and we're probably more than likely of British, German, or whatever heritage from the. Yeah, exactly. Cunt is like DEFCON, not dude. It's if you pull out cunt for something or twat. Oh, dude. Unless you're from New Jersey and you're yelling at somebody on the turnpike, that doesn't get used.
Yeah, and don't say it to a female because then you're going to get plastered all over the internet like that Eagles fan and get banned.
Andy lost his job. he got fired from his DEI job. Sorry. Went a little too far. Button. I think that was funny. That's funny. It's kind of funny.
Unfiltered.
Did you catch my Ian McDonald reference? Was it Ian McDonald's his name? Okay. I know a guy named Ian McDonald that lived in my town. Is that the actor's name?
I think so.
Is it?
I don't know. I'm trusting you.
Now I have to. Is it Norm? It might be Norm.
Norm McDonald? I know him. Oh, Lord.
Yeah. Yeah, the guy who plays Turk Ferguson.
Oh, yeah, Norm McDonald.
Norm McDonald, not Ian McDonald.
Yeah.
Norm McDonald. Yeah. McDonald's. What?
4 fast food items to create a meal can be from anywhere.
Listen, if Wendy's could make a version of the Big Mac, I'd be a happy man. I'll say that. But if I'm In-N-Out animal style burger, right? McDonald's fries, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wendy's cheese sauce for the fries, and a Culver's a Culver's root beer with cheese curds.
I likes. The new Taco Bell is going to be on Stewart's list,
right? Oh, wait a minute. Hold on a second. How is it like on the top of his list? And then when I told him about the caramel apple empanada, he acted like he was brand new.
That's a great question. Wendy's cheese sauce food.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, that is. What? I'm leading with a Crunchwrap Supreme with extra nacho cheese sauce in that bad boy. Okay. That's one of them.
I'm brand new 99% of the time.
Yes,
okay.
100%, 99.9%. Yes. And we also have established that you ain't shit. So,
your density awaits you. You fucking nerd.
So I got the crunch wrap. I'm gonna go with a big old chicken breast from Popeyes.
Okay, chicken titty from Popeyes.
Yep.
For it.
Yep. I'll go McDonald's fries because they're elite. Gotta have some
elite.
fries in there.
I just wish they weren't like fucking 18 ingredients.
Facts. I want the zesty sauce though from Burger King. That's a fave dip for me.
Really?
I like the zesty sauce.
I can okay. I'll give you that. I can do the zesty sauce with the really shitty onion rings that they have there.
The onion rings.
Onion rings. If you know, you know. Wendy's nuggets are underrated. Chad says, I'll agree with that, but I will say that 90s Wendy's chicken nuggets are far more elite than today's chicken nuggets.
Dude,
and I will
90s
tell you that they were different, and I will stand on that mountain and I will die on it.
Yellow Wendy's was next level.
Way better. Way better.
Am I crazy, or did that yellow Wendy's, they had delicious chili, but they also had fried fucking chicken there too, did they not? Am I imagining this?
Where the fuck are you from? Fried chicken. Is this Ohio?
I feel like I remember fried chicken at Wendy's.
Roy Rogers, maybe.
Okay, so maybe I'm out of my mind then. That's fine.
I'm
just curious. I'm just curious. I'm just curious if it's just me or not. If I am like, yes, the sunroom days.
Unless there was like a period of time where they did it in a like local market somewhere. I don't ever remember Wendy's having chicken. Now, the chili was more elite back in the day, but it's the same goddamn recipe. Here's what they've been doing that's been wrong. Every time they cook them fucking burgers, which is what the meat is, by the way, every time they cook those burgers down, they dump all the fucking shit into the chili, and it makes it bad. Like all the grease and stuff. It's no bueno. Yeah, Roy Rogers had roast beef sandwiches too. They had fried chicken.
Ooh, Arby's fries.
Curly or crinkles?
Curly. I have the crinkles in my freezer right now, though. I like their crinkle chunks. So I get those from the grocery.
Was it
curly fries
or Ida or whatever the fuck it is? Does anybody remember when we were kids? The Ida Aura, you could get the shoestring French fries, and they came in a box, and they were all in their own individual slots, and you put them bitches in the microwave, and they came out crispy as fuck. Does anybody remember those?
I do not recall this.
Oh my god, those were fucking amazing. I'm gonna have to kind of disagree with you. This is all dependent on locality of where those checkers may be. The further south you go, the better they get. Kind of the same way like Hardee's, right? Hardee's and Carl's Jr., same brand.
Mm-hmm.
Hardee's is not so good. It's good, but it's not so good. The Frisco burger, like hands down, one of the best, right? That they have there. You go to the West Coast, you go to Carl's Jr., it's the same shit, but it's way better. That look like exactly the frosted looked like they were in an ammo box. Yeah, exactly what I'm talking about. That's fucking hilarious.
Do y'all get down with Arby's? I do not, and I've had this conversation on Facebook numerous times with people who say Arby's is delicious and is great. I'm like, I don't know a single fucking person in any conversation I've had that says, hey, you know what? We're hanging out. Let's go get some fucking Arby's.
Yeah, I will say the burgers that they had or have aren't so bad. the whole Good Burger thing was kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because there ain't a Good Burger anywhere. And I think that is something that maybe
Travesty.
Nickelodeon missed. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they should have made that a fucking national franchise because that would have went bonkers. Same thing with
Mm-hmm.
Mondo Burger. You
Missed
could just do like a
opportunity.
side by side, total missed opportunity. Shit. So what other Whataburger? Has anybody had a Whataburger?
I have not, but my homies that I've talked to rate it very highly.
So it's hit or miss, right? The great thing about Whataburger is that you can literally put what the fuck ever you want on your burger, right? And it's a decent burger. I'll say that.
Mm-hmm.
The best fast food burger that I've had in this country so far is a toss up between In-N-Out and Culver's.
Culver's is fucking elite level of fast food.
Yes, Ed's special sauce not being real
Yes.
is, but at Arby's they did make the special sauce, so
Limited time only, though, right?
yeah. Once the movie was out of theaters, it was off the menu.
Chad, here's the thing. I do enjoy some Chick-fil-A. Their nugs or sandwiches, very good. However, I do not appreciate the
Sundays.
one that I can't get it on Sunday. Two, the pedestal that like some folks put Chick-fil-A on, like they can't ever do anything wrong, makes me frustrated sometimes because I've had numerous times where I've ordered Chick-fil-A delivery, got it there, opened it all up, driver's gone, and I'm missing shit. And their like whole thing is accuracy of order and customer service and all these things.
Uh-huh.
But when I'm opening up everything and my kid doesn't have their meal, and now I have to go out of my way to go
through your
this,
long ass double line
to fix this problem, while they're now, we go through because of sports schedules, we go through a more fast food and takeout than I would prefer and care to mention because it's easy.
Yeah.
So I know that because we order more often is more likely to have mix-ups, but people act like Chick-fil-A never does anything wrong. Their food's perfect. There's never mistakes. I enjoy it, but like I'm not going to put them on a pedestal. So when people, anytime people put something way up here like this, I'm normally going to be like, I'm cool on it.
So my
that
first
part too,
experience,
the fast food being so expensive, yes, that part is very frustrating.
No shit.
Especially so.
I'll say this. I had Chick-fil-A in the early days when I was a kid. So my mom used to work for Christian Television Network, which is based in Pittsburgh. She was the makeup artist. And in the green room, Chick-fil-A would always cater. So I had it when it was fucking the good shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, since having become a chef, I have learned how to cook a lot of these things. And now that I know the brine of Chick-fil-A, I just make it at home if I want. I'm not paying for that shit. The only thing I will go there and pay for is that fucking peaches and cream and their Oreo milkshake.
Them Oreo milkshakes are delicious.
Bruh. Oh, what's up, Huang? Nice to see you in. Yeah. I mean, every dog has its day, right? We can't be right all the time.
Don't take nobody's insults.
Dude, don't take anybody's insults. None of that.
Throw them right back at their faces, bro.
No self-deprecation shit. Come on, man. Listen, we're going to get out of this. It's just not going to be this year. It's just not going to be this year. It's okay. We were talking about it earlier, Huang. Like, it's okay that we're here. You know what I mean? Give us a year off and let us cruise the rest of the season. I mean, obviously, still fight, right? But let's cruise off this season. let the fucking Club World Cup happen, and let's not be serious about that competition, y'all. Let's not. It's
Yeah,
cool that it's coming here to America. They did this whole like fucking kit redesign, which I'm not for. I'm sorry, I don't like it. I'll be interested to see the designs, but like not having City Blue in the design kind of
weird.
makes me feel weird.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it does. It makes a lot of sense why Kushinoff and Rise were, but as we said, or Hayes, were signed. But as we said earlier in the podcast, you missed a lot of the reports that we're getting is that he's going to be more put into a CD or the 6 role, CDM role, especially with him having a bit of time with Fernandinho. So yeah. Back to waffling. Zaxby's. You know, chicken
Haven't had it,
tenders.
so I can't speak on it.
Chicken tenders. Chicken tenders? I can go to fucking Fridays for chicken tenders. I can go to Chili's for fucking chicken tenders. No. Here's one. Popeyes or Bojangles?
I've had more Popeyes than Bojangles, so I'd go Popeyes. Zaxby's is a southern thing, yeah?
It is. It's starting to creep its way up here. We actually have one here in Winchester, but it is very prevalent in the
Oh,
Carolinas.
yes, Wang. It's coming in the chat. He says he's a Korean fried chicken person.
Oh, dude, Bonchon.
Yes.
Oh my
Yes.
god. So we had a Bonchon here in
Yes.
Winchester. We had a Bonchon here in Winchester for a short period of time, but they were trying to charge you out the ass for literally everything because they made everything small batch, right? Like even the
Mm-hmm.
sauces. They would charge you out the ass for it, so it was like not worth it. But was it good? Fuck yeah.
Yeah, we got a couple of Korean barbecue joints around here, and the ones that we've been to have been very good.
See, now I've got to come to the mom and pop Korean barbecue or Korean fried chicken places because Bonchon's. I mean, that's a international franchise.
Right.
All right,
Could you hear that? Could you hear
all
that?
of it.
Okay, I thought so.
I'm pretty sure they heard it all the way over there.
Good God.
Korean barbecue is another thing that I really fucking love. It is next level, but I love the whole idea of how like the setup is like Korean food. There's a lot of side dishes,
Mm-hmm.
shit ton of side dishes, and everything's for the most part pickled in some way, and I love that shit. It's so good. But the thing of it is that when you walk out, did you get a little pea chill? What happened?
Yes, that's exactly what it
is. Sorry, I didn't mean to call you out.
I love that you knew exactly what it was. Love it.
I'm sorry.
That was hardcore too.
Fuzz good. Dude, let me tell you what. For all of you out there, if you haven't done this, you get anytime the next time you get like wasted, next day eat a fucking or a bowl of pho and you will be tip top shape. I promise. There's like
Chad,
medicinal properties.
You're in the DMV area, right? Are you anywhere near me in Anne Arundel County? If so, there's a couple of good spots that I can point you to.
There you go. Huang said he works in a Korean restaurant. Most of the Koreans always have pork belly. Yeah, dude, and it's so good. Love some pork belly. There's actually a really cool channel on Facebook. She is a chef. She's Korean, like full on Korean, married an American, and her parents like try all this food, like American food, like Italian food, stuff they've never had before, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bussin' Dad. Oh, Bussin'.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Yep. Dude, such a good channel. Only for a week that I'm moving to Arlington. I thought you were moving to McLean. Not that it's that far off. I mean, it's like
Arlington makes
fucking
more
town away.
I was thinking Texas for whatever reason just now. I was like, damn, you going to fucking Texas, bro?
No.
It fell through, he said. If you're near Serena Park, Life down in Serena Park is very, very good. Authentic, very good stuff.
If people are pronouncing it foul, they're idiot.
Or faux.
I would have just put FO there. Phonetically, that's foul.
Let's reiterate that he ain't shit, and we move on, Mr. Stewart.
What do I eat on match day? Well, there was a period of time where Aldi actually had these really good British fish and chips boxes, and I would buy like
3. I heard about those. Those were good.
Yeah, well, you can't fucking find them anymore. It's fucking bullshit. I would buy them. I would buy like 2 a week, and I would have one before or after every match. And but on a regular,
it's tough because of the time slots, man. Especially midweek, like 3 p.m. on a Wednesday. I'm technically still working, so I can't be like stuffing my face whilst watching the match. But weekends, and then on the weekends, if it's 7:30 in the morning,
breakfast, probably Pop-Tarts or a bowl of cereal.
Yeah, bowl of cereal, some coffee. If I'm feeling froggy, I'll make some French toast sticks and bacon or something. But
there you go.
But that's Dude, not too often.
Aldi's got some pretty banging French toast sticks.
I love a good French toast sticks, man. Love a good French toast stick.
Yeah. Oh, what food gets you through the match? Well, to be honest, so I don't really. I'm not like an eater during the match. If I'm going to eat during any game, it's going to be American football, and it typically consists of an assortment of different finger snacks, so crisps or chips as we call them here, and pretzels and dips that may come with it, or somebody might bring some beef jerky or like a summer sausage. Sometimes there's deer meat.
That combo that we discovered in Columbus.
Oh yeah,
with the 2 different styles of beef sticks.
Yes,
that was
delicious. It was a smoked beef stick was one of them, and then the other one was a jalapeno beef stick.
Spicy
you
jalapeno,
eat them together, bro. Next level.
Put them together and bite them both. Yes, depends on if we do tailgating. If we go.
Yeah. What will we cook? Watch the boys live. I mean, it could be the typical burgers and dogs, but I think if all goes well, I think a bit of a real barbecue is in order. Do some either like a brisket or some ribs and some sausages, and
I was thinking sausages,
some wings or something like that. Yeah, variety of sausages. Even dude, we can go the gamut. We can do like bangers, fucking brats, fucking chorizo, fucking polskas, fucking yeah, dude.
I love going in that section at the grocery store and just looking through all the options.
Sam's Club, French toast sticks, rip. Yeah, I don't have a Sam's Club here. Costco maybe, but I don't know if they even have them. To be honest, Sam's Club. It's such a.
I heard recently from my mother-in-law that they have now. I'm not sure if this is a new thing or they've always done it because I don't have like Sam's Club membership. They have like a Premier membership now, and if you don't have a Premier membership, you can't get in the door until 10 o'clock in the morning. If you want to get in any earlier, you have to have a special membership to get in early and pay extra. My father-in-law went and tried to get in before 10, and they were like, "Do you have this membership?" And he was like, "No, I have this one." And they're like, "Well, you can't come in until 10." And he was like, "Well, how do I get this other membership?" They're like, "Well, you got to pay extra." And he was like, "So fuck Sam's Club."
I'm so glad. I shout out to Sam right now. I'm so glad they don't do that shit here because literally, if somebody did that here, you might hear about Winchester on the news.
So ridiculous, bro.
It is. Why would you do that?
Make some extra cash.
I mean, I get it. What food can't you guys stand?
I'm
Fuck.
a texture dude, my guy. So if it's kind of a chewy, rubbery type thing, it ain't for Joe. Also, and my mom will verify, as soon as I was able to not eat baby food, anything that has or resembles the consistency of baby food goes nowhere near me. I wanted solid food as soon as I was possibly able to. So I, I've I, texture is a thing for me. So thick
Joe's
noodles, things like
Joe's
that.
not being completely clairvoyant. He has a child's palate.
That is not true. I once had a child's palate. I have since expanded said palette to include more things, and I've tried a lot more things than I used to. So I'm trying to do better. I'm trying.
For me, I mean, I was a chef. I love food. I love food. There's not anything that I really can't stand. That's normal. But if we're talking about uh, some cultures cooking, I will not eat tripe
Nope.
ever.
Pass.
Hard pass. I will not eat a haggis ever.
Nope.
Um, yeah. So English are big on puddings, but it's not like pudding, right? So it's sauce. They're types of sausages, right? I've had blood sausage. It don't bother me. It's actually pretty decent. People need to get past the point or past the mindset of the fact that you're ingesting basically coagulated blood, because it really does have a really nice flavor, especially if it's done right. Um,
And no, Ryan, I do not like yogurt. Pass
why?
on yogurt.
Why?
There's
Is
other
it
delicious
because
things that
is it
I
is it
can eat
is it
besides
because you
yogurt.
found out that women can take their inside juices and make yogurt out of it? Is that why?
No, that is not why.
Well, now it is. Caviar is actually pretty good. There's a specific way to eat caviar. There are people out there that don't understand that you cannot eat caviar on a fucking metal spoon. It will destroy the taste of it. You have to eat it on something a lot more delicate. Typically, there are um, spoons that are made out of animal bones. I won't say what, where, or how, but animal bones, and that seems to remedy all of that. But pretty good. Beans on toast is not good. Don't ever say that again. I've tried it. It's not good. HP sauce couldn't help that because HP sauce is not good. Did you try sweets by any chance? Yeah. So Will from Barber Docs sent us over some stuff. I got to try the tea cakes. Those were pretty good. And you know, it's funny. Speaking of those tea cakes, so if everybody has ever watched the like original Willy Wonka with Gene Wilder, right, 1971 version, the opening scenes, or not the openings, but the intro scene, right, where they're making all the different types of chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there was the one that's the tea cake, and I never knew what the fuck it was, and I was like, why don't we have those here? Where are they? What are those?
Somebody make
I
them.
never knew. And then he sent them over, and I was like, holy shit, Willy Wonka.
And
Bro,
you're
I took my first bite out of I'm sorry I didn't give you any because those things were fucking banging.
that is quite all right.
So I found out that there is a good British store actually down in either Fairfax or Loudoun County, that gets a lot of good imported shit. So we might have to go take a trip
Mm-hmm. Grab a few things.
and grab a few things and do some content creating at the store and send over some of these vids to you guys so they see what we've got over here. There was somebody, so Will also sent us over a box of Yorkshire tea. I actually kept that, and I coincidentally was drinking it tonight. It's pretty good after I've gotten past the idea. Once once it's still the whole thing that we put the tea in the harbor that I'm like, I shouldn't do that.
Right.
It's like so not American to do, but it's actually quite nice. A little bit of honey, a little bit of milk. There's an order though. You cannot just do whatever the fuck order you want. At first, it's honey in the bottom, and then hot water, and then steep. You gotta let it steep, and then you pull the bag out, and then you add milk, and it's actually quite delicious. They also make there's like a better version of it. It's Yorkshire Gold, and I'm trying to locate that if we go to the store.
There you go. We got a mission now.
Yeah. All right, so we've been here for fucking 2 hours.
Good
we
talk.
waffled
Good
on
talk, Chad.
Right.
I like the conversation. Well done, y'all.
He said beans on toast is actually good, bro.
Man, he's entitled
do you order
to his opinion.
He is entitled, but I have questions. You order chicken tenders when you go to dinner with your family?
Chad, if you do, it's okay. Don't let anybody.
You have one ally. One. Just taking the piss, y'all.
Of course.
Listen, before we. Yes, the traditional English reference is good. Who in here likes Branston pickle? Raise your hand.
What's Branston pickle?
For our British folk in here, or that will see this, Branston pickle. How do I explain Branston pickle? It's weird, but it's good. Just look it up.
Okay.
Or as the kiddos say, search it up.
Search it up. Search it up, bro.
Search it up.
On looks alone, it does not look like something I would enjoy.
I know that. I know for a fact that you wouldn't. But you know what? Just to culture yourself, I'm going to make you try it.
That's fine. I will try everything once. I will not
listen, I'll tell you this.
I will try
it's not. I'll tell you this. It is not Marmite. That shit's disgusting. I'm so happy that Will did not send a jar of Marmite. If I get a jar of Marmite from anybody, I'm gonna scoop it out. I'm gonna scoop it all out, throw it in the trash, and then I'm gonna shit in the jar, and I'm gonna send it back to you.
There you go.
Branston pickles though is pretty good. What were we gonna ask?
Oh, I was just saying. There you go. You've been warned. Don't send us.
I thought you were coming out with a roar on something. I wasn't sure. Sounded like it.
Negative.
Cool. All right. Well, hey, it's been 2 hours, 3 minutes. Been a hell of a session. Before we go, though, it's someone's special day on Friday, and I have a little something for him.
Oh, Lord.
Damn, son, where'd you find this? Happy birthday to me, Mike. Happy birthday to me, Mike.
That was absolutely fucking perfect, bro. Oh my God. Thank you, man. Oh my God.
You're welcome.
I got the biggest. My cheeks hurt from smiling and laughing now. That whole thing. Oh my gosh.
It was the cheeky little prick thing for me in the
end. Thank you, Chad. 38, man. Wild.
Fucking 38. Oh my god.
She can't stand it.
It's really weird. It's really weird to think that we are literally 2 years off 40.
I know, right?
Fuck. I'm getting old. We're getting old. All right, guys. That's all we got for you this week. God, for this episode. Wow. Oh, man. I just want to play it again. Oh my god. Thanks for tuning in, hanging out with us. You could have been anywhere else in the world. You're here, and we really appreciate that. What up, Phoebes? On Sunday, where we review the Chelsea match, we will be bringing on, if any of you have her on your social medias, her name is Kelkster. Her real name is Kelly. She will be hanging out with us, talking about the beautiful game, City, Chelsea, all the good shit. So be sure to tune in. Make sure you hit the like. Make sure you hit the subscribe. Make sure you hit the notification bells. Share our fucking shit, goddammit.
Share the shit.
Share it! We really appreciate it if you did. I promise. Also, incoming episode, I will be doing a super engagement with our audience, as I will be asking your opinions on our current Snobby Boys store. So I'll be compiling that together and be going through. We'll be doing a little bit of polling here, which I will make all pretty on screen for us, but we'll be doing that here soon. So hope you'll be here for us to help participate, please. Help us narrow some shit down. That'll be really great. Until Sunday,
7 p.m.
I'm going to leave. Yep, 7. We're going to be late. Sorry, no early days. But it's okay. Because... I know I am on sure I am on City till I die. I'm City till I die. I know I am on sure I am on City till I die. I'm City till I die. I know I am on sure I am on City till